Okay, I'm going to chuck you on the plateau. I'll let you guys discuss what it is you might want to do today. Bit of a shout out to Sirenscape for our new sound effects. If they're too much, feel free to turn them down whenever you feel like it. But I think the ambience going to be cool. I'm excited. Okay, so I will cut to you guys having woken up in the morning. Let's see. Got bird noises. What would you guys be doing as you wake up? Sure.
Isaac is watching him do that.
Watching
So
this like tiny little
yeah,
dragon
Isaac's in the
swoop down
back.
and catch meat as it is dropped to the ground.
Yeah, it's caught his attention.
No worries. And Rakuro, what would you be up to?
Waking up, cracking the neck, stretching, rubbing the eyes, not
Pretty
doing
fair.
much of anything.
Pretty fair. All right. You guys wake up. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go? Are you going to discuss plans between yourselves? Who's going to take charge today?
Someone who could read.
So it's a good start.
Hey, Sobek, we should go check out the notice board. Okay, I'm gonna go to Rakuro's tent where he's at. Wait, Rakuro is not
He's with you
at
guys
her.
now.
Oh, he's in our tent
Yeah.
now?
He moved
Okay.
in.
So I'm gonna peek my head in through the flaps of the tent.
You just see like an open space where there's a bunch of cots that people are sleeping in. It smells like sweat and blood.
I'm kind of scanning it until Rakuro catches my eye. I go up to him like, Rakuro,
Huh? What? What?
could you could you accompany me to the quest board?
Sure.
Uh,
5 minutes.
all right, I'll meet you outside.
Mm.
I'm just
And
gonna
I
wait
leave.
real life 5 minutes.
No.
All right, we'll say that after much grumbling, Rakuro drags his feet and follows Isaac into town. You arrive at the quest board and you see that, sure enough, a new request has been put up.
That one. What does that one say?
You you can't read?
No,
Oh.
I never learned how. I can't write either, so please don't ask me.
It says, "My brother has gone missing. He disappeared from the plateau, and the wooden soldiers posted on the ramp down have confirmed that he hasn't descended to the plains. I don't know who else to turn to now that the collective resources of all the factions have turned up a blank. Find me for more information in the Milanese district. Signed, Dante Inksmith." That's a weird name. Inksmith. You can't smith with ink.
Hmm, that's strange. Are you up for this task? His brother's missing after all. I'm sure a ranger like yourself could find him quite easily if we were to help you out.
Probably. But you better pay.
Yeah, that's something
Uh,
we could ask him when we get
I'm
there.
broke.
All right, shall we get Sobek? We could do this as soon as possible if you're ready.
You turn and Sobek's
Yeah.
standing behind you guys.
Hmm. Oh, he's right there. Well, Sobek, apparently this Milnese man has a missing brother. You up for it? We could find him quickly if we all work together. Thank you for your support. All right, let's go grab our things and head over there.
People are starting to be out and about, getting about their days, and you collect your bits and start heading over to the Milanese district. You guys can move yourselves if you like, but I've got you if you like. As you approach the Milanese district, you start to see like the temporary walls that have been constructed around the settlement. You see the you see what appear to be guards leaning on heavy metal spears in heavily warded plate armor. They sort of give you a nod as you get closer. They recognize you.
I give them a nod back. I go up to the nearest guard. Excuse me, sir.
Hail, adventurer.
We're looking for a Dante Inksmith.
Ah, Dante. You must have seen his notice on the board. Yes, you should be able to find him in his workshop. It's just across there, and he points a couple hundred feet away.
Alright, I turn back, look at Rekiro and Sobek, and nod my head like, okay, we got the information, kind of nod. Guess we head over there.
Odd. So
Alright.
you approach a shop with the title "The Crooked Ward," and as you enter, you see like perfectly scribed wards all down the sides of the doorways. It's a pretty new. It's quite a new building, but it's obviously one that's been constructed quite carefully, quite finely. As you enter, you see. Let's go to more of a shop ambient. You see a middle-aged man. He's got sort of like graying hair, and he's leaning over a piece of equipment which he's inscribing with warding tools. He's sort of painting in ink at the moment.
Does he notice we're there?
He doesn't notice. He's too engrossed in what he's doing.
I like peek over his shoulder, look at what he's doing in silence until like he notices me peeking over. But I'm like looking at what he's doing the whole time until he notices I'm there.
So as you get a bit closer, you can see that he is warding a dagger. He's like he's using a paintbrush to sort of like paint black stem wards, and then you can see as he finishes sections, he sort of like sets it aside to dry. He takes another dagger that he's working on, and he starts to like etch to sort of finalize the lines. As he sees you, he sort of and he scratches off of the ward as he sort of like looks up at you and he goes, "Ugh, that's half a day's work gone. What do you want? Oh, hang on. You must be adventurers. Did you get my notice?"
Yes, Mr. Inksmith?
"Yes, that's me. I don't know. You'll have to help me with my brother. I just don't know where he's gone."
Well, that's why we're here. My friend here is a very competent ranger.
He looks at Sobek and he sort of looks him up and down and he goes, I can't help but notice he only has one eye.
Oh, not him. No, no. That's Sobek. The ranger is this gentleman right here, Rakuro.
Oh, he doesn't notice that he's offended you. He looks Racker up and down. Like, oh, he looks much more competent. Excellent. What? How can I help you? What can I do? You need something that smells like him? What? How do you do this?
I'm not a dog.
I've not usually tracking people myself, but how can I help?
Information. The notice said to come here for some of that.
Information. So it's been a day since I've seen him last. It's not like him to be out like this. I thought for at first that he might have descended down onto the plains, but I've confirmed with the guards both at the gates and then descending down to the ramp entrance, and they haven't seen him. Well, obviously the gate guard saw him leave, but you know what I mean. He was exploring the plateau more recently. I can tell you maybe in the north would be a good start, but the guards looked everywhere and they couldn't find him. It is still quite a large place that we inhabit, and there are ruins and places we haven't explored.
Is there any places that your brother visits frequently?
You want to try north of the hub, I'd say. Stretch along that amount of cliff. The guards looked, but they couldn't find anything.
What was he looking for? Or was he just walking around exploring?
He was determined that there might be something valuable in the ruins of the civilization that were here before us. He was trying to penetrate the deep foliage above the hub, but he seemed to have given up on that. It was, as you know, it's quite hard to break through the foliage.
And what does your brother look like?
Similar to me, he's got short cropped hair and he always wears a fine vest and leather pants. Sure. He sort of looks at you as you sort of like adjusting yourself to make yourself look more like the shopkeeper, you mean? Yeah, cool. Are you mocking me?
I think he's trying to give us a better understanding of what we're looking for.
Yes. I mean, he's a tall Milanese man. You should recognize him on sight.
All right, thank you, sir. And then I reach out to shake his hand. I'm sure this information you've provided us is far more than enough. Hopefully, we can return with your brother safe and sound. You'll have to give us a little bit of time, but we'll try our best.
Well, thank you. Please hurry. He might be injured or in need of help.
All right, we'll be back, Mr. Inksmith. Thank you. Then I walk out.
No
I
worries.
follow.
Cool. Where are you
So he
guys?
said north of the hub, so we should probably head that way.
I wonder if this fucking guy got himself falling off the plateau.
Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
Let's start at the foliage. I'll probably find something about him there.
All right, you should take the lead, Rakro. You are a ranger after all.
I'll start walking towards the foliage, probably around this area to start.
No worries. You can actually move yourself on the hub, so you guys know.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. You moved Isaac? No. Isaac moved Isaac.
Seems like I teleported there. Well, let's just say I walked the paths and all that.
Okay, so as you approach, you see like what appears to be like a dense mass of foliage, packed in tighter than, and you don't even need to make a check for this, Rakro. It seems as though this is like almost an unnatural structure. The denseness and like the overlapping branches are such that it doesn't seem as though this should be naturally occurring. Upon like first inspection, you
Has
can't see any signs of like ingress or
has
like
this
any.
always been here? Does anyone know?
Yeah, it's been here like it's always been kind of an oddity on the plateau, but it was kind of ignored because people had other stuff to focus on.
I suppose I'd do a thorough walk around it clockwise, looking for any sort of opening in it.
No worries. So we'll make this an investigation check.
I'm just following behind.
Yikes.
You can make a further, yeah, and Rakra, you could probably make a further nature check as well. Okay, so Rakro and Sobek spend a fair bit of time looking around. Initially, nothing yields any promising like point of entry, but Rakro discovers at some point a section of plants that look a lot weaker, as though they are much younger and thinner than the rest of the dense woody foliage.
Over
I'll
here,
say it's-
guys. I think I found something.
Well,
I
what
think
did you
these are
find?
freshly regrown. As if somebody's been through here, possibly. I think this would be the best way to try to make our way inside.
All right.
It's like almost a wall of like interlocking wooden branches, and they're all quite thick. Whereas this section, it appears as though they are quite a bit thinner, almost like sinewy. It is. It's a massive like heap of branches and dense foliage. Yeah, no worries. He sort of like can mostly just see like dense foliage. It's pretty hard for him to get a good look at anything. You could probably have him fly above if you wanted. Yeah, he works his way through, and then he, getting frustrated, he flies up like higher, much higher in the air, and starts to like look down from a bird's eye view. He gives you a bit of a flash through his link to you of what appears to be the top of a building sticking out of the central section of this dense foliage.
Where?
Yeah.
Wow, there really is. But why there? Let's go. Let's investigate it.
So there you go. There's a little building. As you guys get closer, you can't push through the vines. Like it's not just like open. You can try to attack them or something if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So Isaac comes forward. Make an attack roll for me. Okay, so you come forward with your longsword and start slashing away at the vines. You do manage to break through. It appears that like this section, you're just getting through. You can tell like the woodier sections of branches would be pretty well impenetrable to your sword. As you force your way through, you can see already the vines as they fall away start to like reach back towards each other. But
This is
there's
natural.
enough of a window that you could push through after having cut through.
I think we're gonna have to make this quick, guys.
All right, so I want to cut it open and create a window for my comrades to go in, and then I'll go in last right before it closes.
No worries. You don't need to make any checks for this. You can pretty comfortably do that. So you're slicing through vines as they're regrowing, and the other two, I assume, get ushered through. You can see as you step through, it's incredibly dense, but the foliage lets up a little bit. You look back and you can kind of see like a thick, it's about like 2 foot thick wooden wall made out of like interlocking vines. Everything within the walls of the vine casing, it's still dense trees, but there is a path that you can see someone has like slashed through some sort of foliage, and you can see debris on the ground where someone's cut things through, and already the plants have started to regrow, but there is signs that someone's been cutting and leaving plants on the ground.
This must be from the brother. This just feels wrong. All right, let's keep pushing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Omeg. What did you say we found?
So you
Brother,
find
what do you
like they're basically like foliage that's been cut away. So like branches that are laying on the ground, that sort of thing. You don't see cuts from where they would have been cut. Like things must have regrown since these were cut off. But you can see that some of the foliage has been cut through in order to make a bit of a path.
Can I just search the area for any sort of like clothing or anything that might have been snagged?
Yeah, make a we'll say survival check. It's more of a tracking thing, really, isn't it? All right. You can see a piece of vest. Like, you can tell it's a vest because you're a motherfucking ranger. You can see a piece of the vest that is almost identical to the one that the shopkeeper was wearing. And you can see that it's got a scrape of blood from where the branches scraped through his clothing. From the right person.
I'm gonna grab it, show it to them. I think we're on the right track, guys. He's definitely come through here.
Yeah, you can get him to sniff it. He comes down and he has a good sniff, and he seems to he's got to be able to pick up a scent. But although there are signs of passage, so you should be pretty fine either way.
All right, let's keep going.
Cool. So you guys are cutting through dense like foliage. It takes you. It would take you a lot longer, but with Rakro clearing the path, it takes you almost no time at all to slip through the dense forest. You push deeper and deeper until finally you come upon a clearing, and you see what appears to be a huge like mansion almost. It's got some elements of appearing like a tavern. Like you see what appears to be like you can see kind of into the main room and the bottom floor, and it appears to be like quite an open layout, as though it were like a tavern or something like that. But then you can see there's 3 more stories on top of that. It's got quite a fine roof coming up in a peak. It does look quite dilapidated though, as though it hasn't been taken care of for quite some time. There are pieces kind of like coming off of it. You know, boards that are broken through. Many of the windows have been smashed. What would you guys like to do?
Before revealing ourselves into the opening, I'm gonna take a good hard look along the tree line and around the building. Just look for danger of any kind.
Isaac's
Cool.
like slowly walking forward.
I'll grab
He's
him.
about he's about to go in the opening.
I'll grab him, tell him to hold on.
So there are
Why?
the sounds of wildlife. You see like a few birds flitting around. You catch a glimpse of like a squirrel, but nothing bigger than that. Nothing sinister.
Okay.
You can make like a proper check if you want, but it seems to be a pretty safe glade. Yeah, you can say with some confidence that nothing really stands out to you as being dangerous.
Okay. Isaac, typically when you're in foreign territory, you don't just want to stroll in like you belong. It's a good idea to make sure you're not getting trapped.
Good thinking, Rakuro.
And then I'll walk out, start walking towards the tavern.
No worries.
Following behind.
Chuck you guys on this map. Okay. You should be able to sort of plan your movement from here.
Oh, it looks like this is the way inside. Are we sure we want to head in?
Seems to be the only path forward. If we want to find the brother, that is.
Okay. What do I hear inside the tower before we...
You can make
Break
a
through.
perception check if you want. Okay. Rakra, you hear pretty much just silence other than the wildlife coming from around you, emanating from huge building in front of you is just nothing. You don't hear anything coming out of it. You focus and you spend a fair bit of time getting a really good feel for anything coming off of it, but nothing comes out. Like it's just an emanating silence, essentially.
All right. I'll start walking in.
No worries.
I'm walking in, but I'm also looking over my shoulder, seeing if anyone is behind us, watching us.
You don't see anyone.
See a hallway with doors.
So I
You
walk in.
see like a crushed, like a door that's been smashed open. As you enter, you can see what appears to once have been quite an opulent, luxurious building. It's now sort of fallen into disrepair. You see various tables, some of which have sort of crumbled with age. There's a layer of dust covering everything. You see what appears to be like a bar of some description. Much of it is rotted away, but you can see enough of it to identify that there were like bar stools and a solid piece of timber.
You know, guys, none of us thought to ask for his name. Go for it. I'm not much of a yeller. And
Inksmith!
I will step back.
Yep. Yeah, he's not gonna have to look too hard. Don't worry. He can. You can actually see as you enter a barn who had picked up on the scent earlier. He sort of like he has a sniff around. As he sniffs, some of the dust gets up into his nose, and he like sneezes adorably. But then he sort of worms his way up and over the bar. You see him. He's making a cooing sound.
I want to like investigate the tavern, seeing if there's signs of the brother or anybody.
So Sobek can see a barn nuzzling against what appears to be like a smoking, charred corpse. It's hard to tell because the figure's so badly burnt and disfigured that it's almost unrecognizable as a human, but you can sort of see what would have been a vest that's like torn to pieces and like burnt almost to shreds.
Would a medicine check help or no?
Yeah, make a medicine check. It appears as though magic has just destroyed this body, but you do recognize that it would have been of a similar height and age to the man you spoke to.
Damn
I
it.
think we found the brother.
Isaac punches a wall, frustrated.
Don't be too hasty to be making noise. This is definitely magical fire. Something did this on purpose.
Ugh, if only I could get my hands on them.
I have a feeling we're going to.
So you're standing over this body, and it is burnt to a crisp.
Right now, I have my head in my hands, just like leaning over the counter, frustrated that we didn't make it in time.
I mean, I think we need to look around before we start knocking on any doors. And I
You
want
see
to check
next
that
to
trap door for
I
traps.
was just about to say. You can see next to the corpse, there is a trapdoor, and it appears to be like magically warded. You see symbols that are sort of inscribed on it. How do you want to inspect it? Do you want to get right up close? Do you just want to like inspect from a distance?
From a distance, I am not familiar with arcane at all, so I'm not going to touch it.
No worries. You can see upon closer inspection as well that the man is holding what appears to be like a crowbar of some description.
I'm going to grab the crowbar. I'm going to throw it at the door.
Okay, you see it fly towards the wards. Thud hits, and nothing appears to happen.
Do
Rakura,
any
did
of
you
you
find
guys?
anything?
Yeah, there's some weird writing on the door. He had a crowbar. I think the door is what got him. I don't know if any of you guys know what these symbols are, or maybe how
Can
to disarm them.
I want to look at the symbols and see if it looks familiar at all.
Make
I
an
am
Arcana
going to step
check.
the hell back.
We'll say that like with this much time to inspect them, you're not going to have a disadvantage on like your perception here or your Arcana check, because it's not as though you're trying to track something that's moving. You can make an Arcana check without disadvantage. A barn won't really be able to assist. Okay. Unfortunately, you decided to look with your eye that doesn't exist. You were covering your eye and just being like, I can't see anything. Yeah, look, unfortunately, you're not entirely sure what the wards do, like what their origins might be. You don't know whether they still hold any power or whether they've expended their charge.
So Isaac is like, damn it, we don't have time for this. He runs, grabs a stool, and bashes it into the trap door as hard as he can to
Okay,
try to break it open.
so Isaac runs over, grabs a stool,
More like
comes back, and
frustrated power walk.
no
That's how it
worries. He
looks.
sort of,
Yeah.
and he comes back over. Make an athletics check for me. Okay. So Isaac comes over with this stool. You see him move towards what could potentially be a deadly magical contraption and just take this stool and he just smashes it into the trapdoor and the whole thing just like crumbles underneath the power of the smash, like of the stool.
Then I toss the stool to the side. Let's go. And then he jumps in.
Okay. So as you just jump in, you don't even look.
No.
All right. You jump in. It's about a 10-foot drop. So make an acrobatics check for me. See how gracefully you land. All right. You take 2 points of fall damage. Pretty minimal. As
All
you
right.
you land, you do like a hero pose, and you find yourself in a dark cellar of some description.
You're awfully quick to charge ahead. We don't even know what's up here with us. And I
Did you
will
say
follow.
something?
I will
Guys, come
follow,
down here.
but more carefully.
I meant to share that with just Isaac. But you're jumping in as well, right? Or you're. So you see as you get closer, there is a ladder.
And I will use the ladder.
All right. You carefully climb down the ladder. Would you also like to join him, Sobek? No worries. A barn sort of holds off and keeps watch.
Sobek,
Okay.
can you light a torch down here? I can't see anything.
He can't see anything with the torch.
Sure. So we'll say there's a torch like strapped to Isaac's pack, like for easy access, and as you like, a torch like lights up on Isaac's pack, and I will put it on.
Thank you. Come down here.
Do you hear like a faint bubbling off in the distance?
In which direction?
From below you. It appears that there is a door you can faintly see in the torchlight.
I'm gonna come to this corner, try to like peek.
No worries. You can just see that there is quite a solidly constructed door. You hear I'm just gonna make a perception check for you guys actually. So Isaac and Sobek hear coming down the hall footsteps. Let me see. I don't have a footstep sound. Maybe I can find one quickly. You guys know what footsteps sound like. So you hear footsteps on stone coming down in quite a rapid pace, like as though someone was like in a hurry.
Isaac unsheaths his sword and just stands there with his
Rakuro
sword and
hides.
shield.
Okay, Rakro, you can make a stealth check if you want. And I will just. Cool. Are you readying a spell or? Okay.
I have a torchlight. Though. I'm just saying.
You want to put it? I lit your torch up as well.
Yeah, I'm standing right there. Okay, I'll drop it and stomp out the flame.
No
Okay,
worries. Get ready your torches.
I'll go towards like the other area to hide. Hmm. Probably, since I'm gonna be invisible anyway, I'll probably just stand right here. But I don't know that. He doesn't know that. He's gonna stand right here. He's not stealthy, so he's hiding poorly.
No worries. So you like intentionally hiding poorly? Or
Okay,
don't even want to
maybe
make a
me.
check, or you can make the check. Make the check into the tower if you want,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you how stealthy you are. In fact, you guys, we could all make a check into the dice tower. So basically, what you do is you drag your stealth check into that little tower icon down the bottom right, and I'll
So
tell you.
Beck, have you made me invisible at this point already? Okay,
Cool.
let's say I have no idea. I'm just hiding right now.
I can't see my own stealth roll from the tower.
Yeah, that's the point of the tower.
Ah.
Yes, and I can see what all your stealth rolls are, but you guys can't.
Do I get advantage because I'm invisible?
No, it'll just be kind of a separate. I'll just factor that in. It's more like a bonus to the roll.
Got it.
So you see the door start to. Oh, well, you don't. You hear the door start to creak open, and you can get like a faint sense of there's some appears to be like torchlight the hallway ahead, and you see silhouetted in the doorway what appears to be a figure who is holding a fairly bright lantern, sort of blinding him to what's lurking in the dark. You can see what appears to be a creature with long ears. You see a man who's taller stature. He looks quite gaunt and skinny. He has long ears. He looks something a little bit like this. If I can find it. Perfect. He's wearing a pair of goggles and he's got a grim expression on. Is anyone there? He sort of glances past you and sees that the trapdoor is open. It's been like crumpled in, and he goes, "I'm free! I'm free!" He starts rapidly walking towards the trapdoor.
Free from what?
You step out of the shadows and say that.
Yeah.
As you step out of the shadows, he sees you and sort of jumps in fright. Who are you? Where did you come from? How did you open the trapdoor?
Somebody else opened it and burned alive for it.
Ah, sounds about right. They weren't messing around. You must let me go free.
Why are you down here?
I've been down here for many, many years.
But that
They,
doesn't tell me why.
they imprisoned me.
Or what?
They didn't like my experiments.
What experiments?
Well, I was close to making a breakthrough, but they couldn't see my vision. They thought that I was insane.
I mean, you still might be. You're not giving me any sort of indication of what you're doing down here, what your experiments are, who trapped you here.
It was
Nothing.
they who were insane. They couldn't see the amazing advances I was making.
Advances to what? Look, I don't have a lot of patience. I just need answers.
You must forgive me. I've not spoken to another being in many, many moons. I forget myself. My name is Aladrin, and I have been working with the crystals for many, many years.
What crystals?
Why, the crystals of chaos, of course. Have you not encountered them?
Not to my knowledge.
Hmm. And what of my brethren? Did they allow you down here?
No. There is nobody here.
How did you... What do you mean, nobody?
I mean, I was sent to find somebody. I found a trail. I followed it to the dead guy at the trapdoor. I got a little
You were sent by who?
curious.
The elders? They allow you to come and free me from my imprisonment?
No, I just cut through some trees.
Trees, that sounds exactly like what they would do. They must have sealed away my manse.
Probably, yeah. Your tower here is completely surrounded by trees. Took me a while to get through them.
And you don't know of the elders?
Nope.
Much must have changed since my imprisonment.
If you had to
could it
guess,
really
how
be?
long would you have been in prison?
You see him like thinking, and you see his face kind of twitch. Well, I have not got any way to track time down here, really, but if I were to guess, at least probably 100 years.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant amount of time to be trapped away. Yeah, that could change a lot. I heard there were some demon wars going on, and those are kind of over.
Demons? What is these demons that you speak? Do you mean like fiends?
Sure.
I
I didn't
didn't.
live through them myself. You've been trapped here longer than I've been alive, but
I had not heard of them appearing on our plane. The world must have changed much since I've been gone. Would you care for some refreshments, maybe? I could show you around my prison as it is. Are you alone?
I am alone.
Well, very well. I would be happy to explain my experiments to you if you want. You don't happen to have any crystals on you, do you?
I don't. If I didn't know about the crystals, I probably wouldn't have any.
Well, of course not. He starts, he sort of trails off mid-sentence and he starts moving towards the door.
I'm gonna cautiously follow and listen for anything.
No
Can
worries.
Eldrin, what kind of refreshments? They
Oh,
can't
well,
surely can't be fresh if you've been down here 100 years.
oh, my mushrooms are very fresh. They grow here quite rapidly, hence my ability to still maintain and not die of hunger.
Thank you. You're not trying to poison me, are you? Forgive me, I
Poison?
just have to ask.
Poison. If I wished to poison you, I would have just attacked you, of course. But no, I think maybe you could assist me in my experiments.
Insight check. I believe him.
Yeah, he seems pretty genuine. He seems like a nice guy. Seems pretty friendly. You assume that he's going to offer you some quite tasty refreshments. Yep,
Uh,
you can.
as a general rule of thumb going forward, Olmeg, I
Mhm.
would do the try to make sure the doors stay open, leave anything as easy as possible for them to follow us.
No worries. So you see, Eladrin leads you down like dank hallways. Smells are damp and dusty down here. You can see there are like small torches or like candles burning in sconces on the wall. But otherwise, it's quite dark. You see as you go down the hallway, and you guys can. I'll say you can follow from like the shadows if you want.
So Isaac puts his hood up. Isaac puts his hood on right now, and he's channeling his inner rogue, and he's just following after Sobek's lead, kind
No
of in like
worries.
in a crouched walk position.
Does
No
Isaac know
worries.
he's invisible?
He has no idea.
He's Isaac. So you see like a couple of large, sturdy-looking chests, and what appears to be a huge set of double doors to your left. He
What's behind the doors, Eldrin?
Oh, never mind that. It's that is not necessary for our experiments. And he sort of.
Forgive me, I'm a pretty cautious person. Those are awfully big doors for the size of creatures our own.
Oh no, don't worry. It's completely safe. It's yeah. Don't worry about that. It'll be fine.
But I am worried.
Well, if you must know, that is where the latrine is.
What is a latrine?
Oh, it's a place for a person's leavings. I forget you are savages. And
Savages?
you, uh, you are less civilized than us Elvenon.
Hmm.
As you approach, you see like a
Perception check? What, do I
yep.
hear anything behind that door?
Yeah, you can make a perception on that. Yes, you hear like a crackling, uh, it would be an unfamiliar sound to you.
It sounds busy back there, Eldrin.
Something a bit like
real
that.
busy.
As soon as you're not in the right position, you stop hearing it. It's not like overwhelming. You just happen to be like in the correct spot with the acoustics that you just catch it, like just a
Got it.
moment of that. And he goes, no, it's very safe. And he leads you forward. You see like what appear to be like desks with ink and parchment. You see in the torchlight, as the torchlight reveals it, you see like a series of bookshelves with copious amounts of notes and like parchment rolled up. He goes, here, all my notes, all my research. I've learned much in my time here. I must show you.
What did you learn? What about?
Oh, about the forces of the chaos, the crystals. They can make us powerful. But
Powerful.
the council was short-sighted. They didn't understand my experiments. At this point, you guys are following in the background.
Is
You
the bird
can
with
hear
me?
the bird. The bird hasn't been with you this entire time. You didn't see it this morning when you woke up. You guys sort of tuck in here. He doesn't notice you. He's too focused on what he's doing up here. Did you have any questions, Rakuro? Let's just make sure he didn't see them.
What do you mean powerful?
They can enhance a person temporarily, but I seek to make it permanent.
Well, I got a bird that knows how to do that.
If you want to, you can like kind of call on the link between you and the bird. It's like you have a faint sensation, almost like a string that you could pull on with a mental command if you wish.
I'm gonna mentally, God damn it, Alan, where are you?
You see, quite unexpectedly, the bird flies from out of the dark in a direction that you didn't come from. And it sort of lands on your shoulder. And Eladrin looks startled. He's like, how on earth did that creature get there? And he looks down further into the passage.
You'll never know. I don't know how he gets here. Alan, he's trying to make things permanently more powerful. And I know you did that for me. Maybe we can help him out?
The bird flies from your shoulder and lands on the desk in front of Eladrin and sort of says, he might be onto something. And Eladrin sort of like, did that bird just talk? My goodness.
Yeah. Yes.
What is this creature? And he's looking closer at the bird.
I don't really know. He just kind of showed up one day, but he did some things for me. And since I completely trust you, maybe he can help you.
And so he sort of looks at the bird and he goes, you claim to have knowledge in this art of soul binding? And the bird says, souls. We know about souls. And you see them talking back and forth. Eladrin says, each time I tried to affix the crystal to a soul, it rejected it. Nothing I did could maintain the subject's integrity. Perhaps you needed to attach it to the spine. Did you try spinal fusion? Oh, yes, of course. That was one of the first things I tried. So they go on like this for a fair while, and Rakuri is starting to get a little bit grossed out, I'd say. They start to get more and more graphic in their descriptions of like methods they could have employed. It starts to become clear to you, even through your terrible insight check, that Eladrin is not a kind soul.
It sounds an awful lot like torture, what you guys are getting at.
Well, it's It's the cost of progress. We have all paid the cost. You see him sort of like rub at his arm that's covered by one of his sleeves.
Mental note, which arm?
It is his right arm.
Got it. So you've had this crystal put in you?
No, no, but my meddling with the magics of the chaos has left its mark. Are you sure you have no crystals of your own?
Fairly certain. Are you out of crystals?
Oh no, I have a plethora of crystals. They remain innate. I cannot recharge them once having expended them. Perhaps you could assist me in my recharging of my crystals.
What else is down here, Eladrin? I see a lot of hallways. There must be something.
Oh, just sleeping quarters and that sort of thing. Of course, an area to grow my mushrooms. Man's got to eat.
If I'm going to help you recharge these crystals, I've got to know what's behind the door for my own safety.
Oh, as I said to you, it's simply a latrine. So make a charisma save.
Oh, that's awful for me.
As he's trying to convince you that there's nothing but a latrine behind there, he picks up on the fact that you're not buying it, because he was very unconvincing this time around. He sort of laughs. Okay, you've got me. Obviously, it's not a latrine. I can see you're not an idiot. It's a device, integral to my studies.
What does it do?
Well, it channels the powers of chaos, of course.
How do we recharge the crystals?
Well, simple soul transfer from slain creatures should do the trick, as long as they are sufficiently diffused with chaos magic. You will find that many of the creatures wrapped in chaos are
during his speech.
What's that?
Taking a step back during his speech.
Oh no, I do not mean you slay your companions or anything so sinister. I simply mean the creatures who are in abundance around the Chaos Rift. You could find them out on the plains. The plains are still out there, are they not?
No.
There are no more plains? What surrounds the plateau?
There's civilization around the plateau.
The city on the plateau, it has spread? Make a deception check.
Oh, I thought I was telling the truth.
Oh no, because he's talking about like the plains surrounding.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Well, I already said it, so it shall be.
No worries. Okay. Well, I never suspected that the plains would. You were saying that there is a thriving metropolis around the plateau? How fascinating. Unexpected. Well, if that is the case, I'm sure you could find some vagabonds or derelicts who would sufficiently serve the purpose.
I don't believe in that. I'm not going to sacrifice other people to recharge crystals.
Well, I see you don't have as strong of a stomach, but perhaps you could range further than this thriving metropolis and find some wild beasts in order to recharge my crystals. The chaos magic in this region, it stretches far. I doubt that a city would be so vast as to soak all of the surrounding energies up.
What kind of beasts and how many?
Well, it depends on the size of them. It depends on how infused they are with the magic. Perhaps there's even a way to passively drain. I've not tried it. I've always found it easier just to slay the creatures. But I'm sure a large creature would be enough to sufficiently fill one of my smaller crystals, and probably two for one of the medium. And he sort of there's a bunch of crystals on his desk, and he's rifling through them and sort of rattling off some sizes and all that sort of thing. But essentially, he explains that killing creatures and embedding these crystals into their corpses will drain whatever chaos magic sort of flows through them.
So I just carry the crystals and kill creatures?
Indeed, it's that simple, but time is of the essence. I've already waited so very long. I'm very close to making my final breakthrough. Sacrifices have been made already, and it would be a travesty to delay any further.
Give me some crystal.
Okay. He stacks you up with about 10 of the small crystals. They're about the size of 2 fingers, like next to each other. It's like a shard of like crystal, and it's dim. And then another one more the size of kind of a closed hand kind of thing. And then you can see there is one also sitting on the desk that's almost the size of like 2 fists together. And he goes, "I know not much of the large crystals. I should lend them to you if you are successful in your early experiments."
Very well. Do you plan on staying here while I do this?
I will be. I mean, I've waited long enough already. I will make preparations, in fact, for when you return with charged crystals. That will be the best use of my time, I believe. I'm not sure I would fit into this thriving metropolis you say has taken over in my absence.
Yeah, probably not. You'd probably end up trapped in another prison.
And you say that there is no signs of my people?
I've never seen anyone that looks like you before.
Troubling. What could have befallen them? Well, no love lost here. They were short-sighted anyway.
All right.
So you start walking away?
Yep.
Okay, as you start to walk away, he turns and says, "What should I call you?" Do you not answer him? You just keep walking?
You can call me Rakuro.
"Thank you, Rakuro, for freeing me from my prison. I shall see you again soon." And you see him turn back to his notes, and he's like scribbling furiously.
I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna motion these guys to like stay stealth as they come with, like a shush kind of.
You can kind of dimly see your way through. So you guys are gonna head up and out,
You
or
I
know,
want
you
to
meet
stop
back
in
in here?
this.
kinda.
I want to
I
stop
kind of
in
want to
this
see
room.
what's.
You can
I
start. You
kind
can
of want
light.
to
Do
see
you want me to
what's
light a
down
torch for
here.
you guys?
No, not me. I'm just following. No
So no one
torch.
wanna. Yep. So no one
I
wants to
kind
light
of
a
want to
torch.
see what's down this hallway over here.
Yep. So do you want to light up a torch or?
Only once I get around the corner.
Okay. Good call.
I'm following behind.
You can see there are a couple of candles. The candles stop once you get to that point, and that would be a good point to light a torch up once the line of sight is broken. Although he seemed pretty engrossed in what he was doing anyway. Do you want to follow too, Sobek? Okay.
This whole time Isaac's doing his like sneaking kind of like he looks like he's trying way too hard. And he has his cloak on. The hood is up.
Well, it doesn't look
It's
like anything because he's invisible to us.
oh true. Well to him,
So,
it's not it looks unnatural the way he's sneaking. It's like cartoony.
okay. Isaac's like, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo.
Do-do-do-do, do-do-do.
As you light your torch up, you see ahead of you an incredibly heavy iron door.
Is there a way I can try to open it?
There appears to be quite a intricate looking locking mechanism at the center of it.
So no.
Do you have any lockpicking set?
Nope.
then probably not. I mean, you could try and break it down, but it's going to be incredibly difficult and loud.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Guess I'm just gonna head back to the room where we came in, put out the torch.
No worries. Would you guys like to find the trapdoor and head back up, or would you like to do anything else?
Guys,
The greedy person in me wants to try and look through some of those chests.
Yeah, you can light a torch again if you want.
Yeah, relight that torch and maybe peek around in the chests. Because I absolutely do not trust this.
Okay. So you see a few chests around. You see like some sacks and some barrels. A lot of it seems depleted, like as though these casks over here that you assume once were filled with some sort of ale or wine, completely empty and sort of like mildewing and rotting away. The sacks here again, completely depleted. The chest you see has a small lock on it.
That one I feel like I can confidently try to break
Yeah.
without
Have you got
making
like?
too much sound.
Do you have a crowbar?
I have a sword.
You could try to do it with a sword. It's not really what
Yeah.
swords are intended for.
Oh no, I know, but I'm improvising.
All right. I'm gonna give you a DC for this. So to do it silently, I'll say that it's a 15, and
On an attack roll, or
it'll be. I'd say it'll just be like a flat dex check, so you don't like have a proficiency bonus on this one because it's a
okay.
bit improvised. And if you get under a dex or strength, I'd allow you to do either. No, probably. Yeah, we'll make it dex. That's fair. So if you get under a 10, it's going to make a lot of noise. Oh, never mind. Okay, so you pull out your sword and your allies look at you kind of skeptically. You slip it into the gap, and you just. Thankfully, your sword holds true. It was well crafted by the looks of it, and the chest creaks open. As it opens, like a cloud of dust comes forth, and you see in there like a few trinkets, a couple of valuables, a few bits and pieces of like gold, and um, like a candelabra that looks kind of nice.
I am taking all of it.
Alrighty, so
And
you find in
clearing
there as
the second
well
chest.
what appears to be, you see like a small wooden doll that appears to be a dragonborn. It's sort of faintly humming.
Curiosity's peaked. I'm taking that too.
Okay, so you as you pick it up, uh, it hurts your hand. It like sears the flesh of your hand. You take 1 point of damage. After the initial sting, you grow a bit more accustomed to it, and the pain lessens.
We should get above ground, guys.
Isaac's like super silent, but he understands. And then he goes to the ladder going up.
The doll, you can see, is made out of what appear to be scales of some description, and as I said, it's in the shape of a dragonborn. It looks like quite a decent little facsimile. It's like wooden, but it's covered in like strange scales. As you picked it up after that initial pain as well, you felt memories of like fond moments in your childhood come to mind, unbidden. It's certainly a strange experience.
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
No worries. So you guys head back up.
Yeah, Isaac is already climbing up by this point.
You emerge into what is still a mostly sunny afternoon, and you are on the bottom floor of the manse that you discovered earlier. A barn like nuzzles into your hand.
Rackero's gonna close that trap door And if possible, can we as a group move one of these tables on top of it?
So the trapdoor was completely shattered by Isaac's stool, essentially. But you could, if you want to, shift one of the
Flip it.
tables, put it upside down. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally. We can do
Yes,
that.
let's do that.
So you're just going to
Isaac
leave the
doesn't want to
table.
help. He's just being sneaky. He doesn't do any. He doesn't want to use his strength right now.
It's considerably harder without Isaac's help, but you do manage eventually to
Isaac's
to put.
probably like in this corner.
It's a heavy wooden table, but with Sobek's help, you manage to like shift it over. You both, relatively strong adventurers.
All right, he wants us to fill these crystals with soul so he can put them in some things and create chaos. That's what I gathered out of this. I don't know how much you guys might have caught. I hope you followed, tried to make it easy.
You pretty much heard most of it. He wasn't really that focused. He was so focused on explaining what he was talking about that he was really like blindsided to everything else around him. So you guys were able to get quite close without him really being aware.
What do you guys think?
Do you even know I'm there? Because I'm invisible.
We'll say he's talking to Sobek right now. You saw him like definitely giving up a bunch of crystals.
Sure, I'm more interested on whether or not we should be filling these with souls, though, as I hand him one. What do you know about these? Inside check. You shifty son of a gun.
And what are you trying to pass? If you are trying to deceive him. Cool. Yep, he seems to be genuinely just wanting to help.
All right, bet.
Isaac
hand him
wants
one.
to run and slide over the counter to where they are in like a cool way.
Is he still invisible at this point, Sobek? You still maintaining the spell? No.
So you probably hear like random like running sounds and then a
He's
weird like
scuffling. Yep.
and then
Rakaro's not
So,
an idiot. He's aware that like Isaac was made invisible.
Isaac's crouched just looking at you guys with his cape, like his cloak kind of like held over the bottom half of his face with his arm. He's just being like super sneaky.
Nice.
so you think we should fill these Sobek and bring them back? You aren't wrong. Do you think we should check out this place a little more before we go, or should we just start looking for things to do?
Alrighty.
Isaac goes to the guy, the burnt corpse, because he saw him and realized and remembered like, oh shit, that's the brother. So he goes to the guy. I want to investigate the body to see if there's any piece of him I could take back to his brother.
Ooh, that -3 is rough. You see that he has teeth. Nothing else really stands out as a recognizable feature. All of his clothing has been burnt beyond repair and beyond recognition. You see all his hair's gone. You can see not a lot that stands out as being a recognizable feature.
So Isaac crouches over and just says, forgive us for not being here in time. I wish you grace moving into the next life. May you rest in peace. Then he follows after Sobek. At this point, Isaac kind of turned off rogue mode because he remembered that the brother had died, so he's actually like pretty bummed about that because he feels like, I don't know, maybe there was a way he could have saved him if he was faster to get there or something. So he's no longer sneaking around. Now he's just like walking like normal Isaac.
No worries. You guys head up to the next level. Okay, so again, this starts to feel a bit more like a residence than what appeared downstairs to be like a common room or like almost like a tavern style room. This is like a dining room that you've just entered. Again, like everything is very much decrepit and aged. You see that the place seems to have been ransacked as well, like many, many years ago. Nothing valuable has really been left behind.
Is there any like books or anything? Maybe notes?
Certainly no books that you can see in this area.
I would do at least a quick check to see if there's like any paper or anything with notes scribbled.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an investigation check.
Is that
You,
2 in a row? Are you fucking kidding me?
You think you find what appears to be a piece of paper, but upon closer inspection, it's actually a carpet.
Got it.
Isaac wants to investigate this room.
It takes you a
Well,
fair amount of time trying to read the carpet before you realize. Just so you know.
Excellent.
You see a fireplace in here that is covered in like old ash, and it looks like it hasn't been used in a very, very long time. There's also a door out to a balcony that you can see.
okay, I'll go out that door.
No worries, you can see kind of out into the clearing, and you can see the foliage just stop in a line.
Isaac looks out, kind of thinking about what he's gonna say to his brother, to the guy's brother, how he's gonna tell him that that the brother was found burned.
No worries.
Then he's gonna go back inside and check out the other door. But he was out there for like probably a good like 5 minutes.
Yeah, all good.
What's on the other side of this door? Oh my.
That is a window.
Head straight for the staircase then. With
No worries.
Sobek apparently. Yeah, Rakuro didn't wait.
Actually, let's just say Isaac's still in the balcony, just contemplating.
That's fair.
Arms on the railing, just like thinking, looking out into the distance.
Cool. So, Isaac, sorry, did you come along, or are you staying out there?
Oh, Isaac's staying out here. He's bummed.
That's cool.
He's just contemplating, you know, what he's gonna tell the brother.
Yep. So Isaac's in contemplation. You guys are going to emerge on another landing. You guys can see, again, it's starting to look more residential. That was more of a dining room down in that region, but now you can start to identify what would have been quite opulent and spacious bedrooms and a study. But it appears as though it's just like everything else is very much in a state of disrepair. Okay, so you guys are standing on this floor. What would you like to do?
I want to go to the room over there.
No worries.
Investigate this.
This way then.
You can see what appears to be what was once like a pot plant, Rakuro. Oh, why are you struggling there? I think you tried to walk through a wall. It appears to be like a pot plant that seems to have like overgrown and like turned into some sort of massive vines on the ground. Isaac, in the meantime, found what appears to be like the remains of some sort of library or study area. Mostly any books that are still here are completely like degraded to nothing. You can see like mostly just like covers left over and like dust.
Okay, I guess I'll leave this room. Check the bathroom. Or this room that I haven't been in.
You want to have a closer look around, Sobek, or? So, you spend a little bit of time, probably longer than you intended, flicking through all the books and You take note of the desk over here in the corner. It appears as though the drawer is still working. You pull it out, and as you pull the drawer out, you see that the bottom of the drawer has sort of like started to rot away, and you can see that there is kind of like another compartment underneath the drawer. So as you open the drawer and you see some sort of dagger or like some sort of like pin sticks itself out of the side of the. It's essentially like it's like a flat piece of wood sitting on top of a hidden compartment, and as you are able to grab the side of it, but as you do so, a pin sort of sticks out in an area that you would have definitely had your hand in when you if you would have taken it out in a good quality condition. But because like the corner had rotted away, you just lifted it and the pin sort of pokes out harmlessly. As you pull the panel away, it reveals that there is like a waxed wrapped package. It's like some sort of green material, and it sort of hums faintly with like a magic residue, and it appears to be wrapped like a satchel around something. It looks to be the size and shape of probably paper. Yep. As you pick it up and put it on the desk, you see underneath it there is a ring as well. So as you leave the satchel on the desk, you untie it, you open it up, and it appears as though there is like some sort of folio of documents. They are in a language that, let me see if you can understand it. But if you can, so you just cast comprehend languages. Okay, upon casting it, you understand that this is Elvish, a language that you've not really had any use for previously. You can read the title. I think you would know what language it is, I'd say, to be my understanding of comprehend languages. It would be strange if it would like reveal it to you and not give you a sense of what language it was. So you can read the title is Eladrin's Notes. So you put that away for later reading.
Omega, I'm gonna stop the birds.
Yeah, go for it, dude. So the ring appears to be magic of some description. You can't actually identify what the enchantment is like straight away, but you see what appears to be like a swirling symbol upon it.
Can I try to run this sink, see if there's water?
Go for it. You turn it on, nothing happens.
Is there a mirror?
Yes, there is. It's very like it's grimy as hell. You can't see really anything in it.
He's just looking into it. So nothing, no reflection.
You can just see like grime and like a faint reflection.
All right. He stares at the mirror, just spaces out, and then he leaves.
Nice. Cool. So you guys are just exploring.
Is there an even further upstairs?
There is another set of stairs.
Okay, go up it.
As you plant your foot on the stairs, and Rakura was going first, you hear all of a sudden a big crash as like the stairs fall underneath you. Make a dex save for me.
Rakuro or both of us?
Just Rakuro. Okay, you just managed to jump out of the way as like this section of the stairs just like completely collapses due to its advanced age.
And I assume there's no more continuing.
You could try to get around it somehow.
I will.
You could try to leap the gap.
I was more gonna tie a rope to one of my arrows and try and shoot it into a wall if there's wood. It looks like there might be wood.
It's not that big of a gap. You should be
Okay.
fine to just jump over.
And I will jump over.
Okay, so you leap the gap, make acrobatics. You skillfully jump the gap. You look back over at your allies.
Are you coming?
Isaac wants to peek over the edge, see how deep the hole goes.
As Isaac walks up and looks down, you see that it's probably about a 10-foot fall.
Does he see where it leads? Does it look familiar? The drop?
It
The
looks
landing?
just dark under there.
Huh. Isaac tries to jump anyway.
All right, go ahead, make acrobatics. If you both want to do it, that's fine. Okay, so Isaac jumps over, teeters on the edge, and just manages to get over to the other side. Sobek, on the other hand, as he steps up, he slips on a bit of debris, and just as he's jumping,
Can I catch him?
Yeah,
You
I
can
was
try.
gonna ask the same.
I want to go for a catch.
All right,
Catch his
we'll
arm or anything.
I'll let Isaac try to attempt to catch him. Make this a dexterity check, I'd say. Because you're catching someone out of the air. Okay, so you reach for him, but you're just not quite fast enough as Sobek sort of lunges forward, and he reaches for your hands instead of trying to catch the ledge, and falls. He falls about 10 feet, taking 4 points of damage, and ending up in a dark space.
Damn. Rakuro, do you have a rope?
Yeah, I've got one.
Alright.
As I'll start lowering it down to him.
Sobek, we're lowering a rope for you. Just try to see if you could find it, and then we'll pull you up. What's down there?
As you like kind of picking yourself up, brushing yourself off, you hear like a rattling as you kick something that is like you feel something against your foot as you like kick, and you hear like it rattle across the floor essentially. Sure, yeah. You light up a torch and you see bones. Quite a number of bones surrounding you.
Does any smell of strong evil like creep into my nostrils as I'm like
Uh,
holding the rope down to help Rakuro lower it? Because I'm
you
sticking my head in the hole, kind of.
you get a sense of does it detect like evil creatures, or is it like just
Celestial fiend, undead, but it says the presence of strong evil. Would you count that?
um to my understanding of it, it's more like detecting evil creatures, kind of like a warding safety thing. Whereas yeah, I'll say that you get a whiff that like there's a sense that some evil deed has taken place here, but not
The
a
real
sense that there is a
question,
creature nearby.
the real
Hmm.
question is, does it pick up a ladrin?
It what's the range of that?
Let me see. The range is within 60 feet.
Yeah, you're
At,
not within 60 feet of the chamber underneath.
and it's not behind total cover.
Yeah, so that would definitely count as like total cover. Okay, so you just like detect that there was some sort of sinister act committed in this like area quite a long time ago.
Yeah, Isaac doesn't like it here, but he's trying not to focus on how he feels. He's just trying to investigate this place and leave.
You pretty easily you like lift so back onto the stairs, and you keep heading up. Okay, and you come to the final story. You see again like a quite it's looking pretty opulent up here. There's like a study or like slash bedroom, and then like a storage area on the other side.
I guess Isaac will go this way since it's like the way he faces first.
No worries. There's a
And then
bunch
I
of like
guess,
broken crates, materials that seem to have mostly degraded at this point.
yeah, Isaac wants to walk around and just like check it out, see if anything catches his eye.
No worries. Make an investigation check for me. You have a look around and nothing really stands out to you as being like particularly useful or valuable.
Well, he's doing that. Racker would check this top room.
Yep.
Also investigation.
Make the check. Okay. Rakro mostly just finds mildewed and decayed bits of material from the various like furnishings of the room. Meanwhile, down in the other room, so you see this section of wall over here seems to have like broken, and you do see like a link through to the other room.
Yeah, I would go that way.
Cool. So you head on over. Let's grab that in a moment. Meanwhile, Sobek does notice 2 rugs that appear to be kind of untouched by age, and they seem well and truly like intact, and compared to everything else, that's quite strange. They are there's 2. One is quite large and the other is a bit smaller, say like want to be like about 5 feet wide and long, and the other would be more like about 10 feet wide or 10 feet long and 5 feet wide. So you want to go grab the small one. As you reach towards it, the other rug like leaps off the floor and like wraps itself around you.
I immediately try to free him.
Roll
kinda-
initiative, guys.
All right.
I need some battle sounds. Oh, that's not the sounds that I wanted.
Isaac's like strong arming it, trying to like just peel it off. Get off him!
Okay. So it's going to make
It's a competent rug. This is no ordinary rug, Isaac says.
So you just hear Sobek be like, "I worked that out" from inside.
So did I strong arm it off Sobek?
It's just deciding whether it definitely hits him. He's going to be restrained, and he's going to take some damage. Not that much damage though, but looks of it. Okay. So you can try to. So you're trying to rip it off him. You're not trying to like attack the rug.
No, because he's in it.
Yep.
I
So
really can't.
you can make an athletics check for me.
Get off him!
All right. Isaac just like goes ballistic and grabs the edge of the rug, like swinging it around, trying to like get it to let go. Eventually, he like swings it, and Sobek like unrolls, and he's gonna take about 6 points of damage as he gets sort of like flung across the room, hitting the wall and landing prone. But you're no longer restrained.
All right, I'm gonna go into dual wield mode.
Oh, hang on, we actually didn't. Yeah, we'll say that was an immediate reaction to this happening. I'll allow it. I'm just gonna roll its initiative. So Sobek is restrained, no longer restrained. He's prone. It is Sobek's turn first in the combat. No worries. At this point, Rakro has like heard commotion in the other room and has opted to help you guys out. By the way, go for your blast. Get it done. Okay, so it does hit. Roll your damage. Does a decent amount, so we're gonna go. Where's the spell effect that I can use? Sobek fires off a crackling eldritch blast, and it connects, like punching a small hole through the rug. At which point it shifts its focus back to him, and it's going to. Yeah. What would you like to do? No worries. He will be ready to go. The rug is going to ignore Isaac and go straight back towards Sobek, taking opportunity attack.
Oh yeah, I'm dual wield, so can I?
I would say that you didn't have time to dual wield from like the
Oh okay.
because you took like an immediate combat action just to like swing the rug around.
How do I remove the effect? I put the dual wield effect on myself, kind of. I don't want a disadvantage roll. Should I roll with
I'll get rid of the
advantage?
effect. I'll get rid of the
Okay,
effect. Yeah. You hit. Boom. So Isaac like rips a heavy chunk out of the rug as it goes past. We'll say sword clash.
And then at this point, can I unsheath my other sword?
Go for it.
All right.
Actually, it's still not your turn, but you can do it at the start of your turn. It's not going to cost you anything.
Okay.
Cool. So the rug is going to try to pick up Sobek. I didn't remove prone. I'll just roll that again. Rip. So the rug runs forward, but it's put off balance by the fact that a significant portion of it gets torn away by Isaac, and it like reaches Sobek. It almost in tatters, and tries weakly to like wrap around him. And Sobek just sidesteps. Rakro, up to you, dude. What are you gonna do?
Hearing the commotion, I would probably take all my movement and a dash towards them.
Yep. Make the you do the arrows for me. It's easier than me trying to like calculate your movement. Oh, sorry. For some reason, I didn't have it selected there. Cool. So you have line of sight on the rug if you'd like. There's partial cover. Oh, and you dashed. Never mind.
I was gonna say I dashed.
Yep. All good. Barn is gonna run in and make an attack on this. Barn runs forward and like rips some of the rug away with his mouth. Looks adorable while doing it. Isaac, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna charge at the rug with a sword in each hand and go for like an X swing.
No worries.
I meant to move and then swing, but that's basic. You get the idea. And then, that's my turn.
That's probably why you missed. You should have moved before you swung.
Ooh.
So, no, like you would have missed anyway.
Yeah.
Isaac tries to get a double swing off on the rug, but it evades him as it slides under his blades. Next up is Sobek. What would you like to do? Okay. This will be with disadvantage, of course. Okay, you still hit? So you shoot a crackling bolt of eldritch energy across the room and it connects with the rug, causing such significant damage that the tatters that are left just like collapse to the floor. What would you guys like to do next? You kind of go back to what you were doing before. The rug seems to have you see like the tatters just sort of flopping around on the ground a little bit.
I'm gonna use a firebolt on it and try to burn it.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
You burn the remnants of it.
Let's get out of this stupid place. We need to tell
Wait,
him.
I
What?
found another door,
Damn it, I hate doors. And then I go to Rakuro.
and I'll take them back to the room that I was just in, trying to investigate.
So you there was like a big that was the big carpet that you guys just killed, and there was another like smaller carpet next to it. You can have a closer look at that if you want. Yeah. Yeah, so you head over to the smaller carpet, and you pick it up. It's not terribly heavy. You can tuck it away on your pack or something if you like.
And then, can I investigation check this room, see if I find anything besides the door?
Go ahead.
That's my third natural one in a row.
You are very smooth today, let me say. So you don't see very much around the study here. You do notice that there's like some bones on what appear to be a table of something. The table has straps across it as well. It appears as though something was happening on this table that was a bit sinister, but you don't really feel that it was that interesting. You also see a desk with a chair pushed in on the far end that looks a bit worse for wear.
Is there any drawers on the desk or anything?
Nothing you can see. Sort of,
Okay.
yeah,
Then
nothing
I'll just look at
remarkable.
the door, see if it's got more of those markings like the one downstairs.
This trapdoor,
Yep.
it doesn't. It does not. It seems
I'm
to
gonna
be, yep,
I'm gonna give it a pull.
yep. Go for it. You pull it open. You see a ladder coming from below. You
Can
see
I
it leads
see
back
into
down to
it?
the yeah. It's you can see it leads down to the floor below. Would you like to head down?
Uh, I'm gonna holler for them and then go down. Yeah.
So when I follow, can I briefly look around the room and see if anything catches my eye?
You can make a quick investigation check. Okay, Isaac, you don't see much.
All right, then
um,
I go down.
no worries. No worries. You scurry down the ladder.
I want to investigate specifically whatever the heck this thing is.
So it's actually like a fireplace with some sort of flue leading, venting the smoke upstairs.
Hmm. Anything in the fireplace
You
out of
see
the
like
ordinary?
a bunch of coals, bunch of ashes. Nothing sinister in there that you can see.
If I put my elbow out and lean on it, does it magically open and take us to a trapdoor?
Uh, you could make like a proper investigation check around this thing.
Ah,
It doesn't seem to. It just seems to be like a normal fireplace.
alrighty.
You guys were not very thorough with this
It goes against
investigations
everything I
today.
stand for.
Oh man, kills me.
Okay.
Um,
That screams trapdoor to me.
don't you open that trap door?
He just wants to
You,
stare into
yep,
it.
you just stare into the fire. There's no fire in there, just so you know. You're just looking into like the empty fireplace.
Yep.
That's fine. Yep, no worries. Make a perception check if you like. You just emo staring into the fireplace, and there's nothing that you notice.
And then he goes to this bathroom.
No worries. You hear the door shut behind Isaac, and someone's peeing into like some sort of porcelain, and shortly afterwards he comes out.
All right.
I feel
When
like
you
we've
said the door shut behind me, I thought it's something else shut it.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, I'm gonna go back over there.
All right.
feel like
You guys
we've
are pretty well.
adequately.
Yep, I feel like you're pretty well scattered the entire like place at this point. Um, we can just sort of like fast travel you back to the town if you like.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. So I assume you want to head over to like the Milnees district.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Okay, no worries. So you head on over.
Also,
Yep.
I'd like to keep in mind I did grab the part of the vest in the forest on the way in. I'm
Cool.
planning to return that to his brother.
No worries. We'll say that it was a big enough piece that it's like it's identifiable as belonging to him. So you head on over. You are coming up upon the Milnees district. So you head on over. You head into the Crooked Ward, and you see the man again working quite vigorously on. He's very concentrated, but this time he sort of hears the door creak and looks over and goes, "Oh, adventurers! Did you find my brother?"
Isaac
Um,
looks like pretty solemn. He looks down. No.
your brother's dead.
Well, yeah.
What? What? How did he die? I thought we were
Burned
safe
alive.
here. Burned alive? My goodness, how did this happen?
Well, I don't know how much of the details you want, but there's a tower in that big bush in the middle of the plateau. A tower in the middle of it. And we found his body burned completely with a crowbar next to a door that had some writing similar to some of the stuff you're writing in here on it.
Oh no. Eric was always so curious. I was bound to catch up with him eventually. Thank you.
I'll give him the vest and say this is about all we could salvage.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, at least now I know. And he sort of like puts his head in his hands. He starts to like quietly wait.
Would
I'm
would this be a
sorry.
bad time to ask what kind of compensation we get?
I will. I would be happy to ward equipment, but perhaps not today.
Understandable.
I put my hand on his shoulder and look like I feel really bad for him. Then I leave.
He looks up at you and he seems to be appreciative of the gesture. He puts his hand like upon your hand. He goes, "Come see me at a later day. I will. I think I could be of use to you.
Very well.
And look, for now, I appreciate your time and efforts." And he hands you over like a small pouch. It's got about 60 gold. So you guys can. I'll put it in the party sheet. You can split it if you would like. Okay, so you sort of headed back to camp. You've got a strange carpet. You've got a number of crystals. Uh, I think some of that was found discreetly. I think Sobek might have pocketed a few things, so you guys wouldn't necessarily know about those. Um, but you can choose to distribute these bits if you like. If Rikiro feels as though he earned all the crystals, that's up to him. And the carpet, again, if Sobek feels as though that was his discovery, up to you guys. I'll
Uh,
just let me know so I can distribute.
Cool with
the
whatever.
crystals, I would take all of them except the one I gave Sobek because he's the only one that asked for one.
Did you give him a medium or a small one?
I don't know. I'd probably give him a medium.
Cool.
I'll take that 30 gold that the guy gave us.
Raise. I wonder.
Where's the loot items?
If you go to party and then go down to inventory, do you see that?
Oh, yes.
I'll just give. I'll identify the. You know what chaos crystals are. There you go, and then
Also, all the
Maybe
miscellaneous
not
stuff I
Isaac.
took out of that basement.
Yep.
What came of that?
So you found like I'll say you found a candelabra, a fine candelabra, and you found that little it was like a wooden doll covered in like scales.
Yeah, I pocketed the doll, but
Yep.
the candelabra I would agree to sell and distribute.
We'll say that you went to the marketplace and they were able to liquidate it into the form of 30 gold for you, if you would like.
Yep. I mean, I'm good with it.
I could just do that.
Everyone else is.
Yep. So you head over. You've got this fine candelabra. You've got a man there who looks to be selling things that are of a similar nature. And he goes, it's quite a fine piece. I would be happy to give you, say, about 25 gold. Make a persuasion check. Okay. Very interesting. I was not aware that such artifacts were being unearthed on the plateau. Perhaps it does have a bit more value than I initially thought. And he picks it up and like kind of examines it. I'll tell you what, I shall give you 50. How does that sound? Excellent. So you had 60, so I'll make that 110. No worries. So that I'll just distribute the stuff like that. Happy Sobek getting the carpet?
Hmm.
Just so you're aware, upon like closer inspection, the carpet seemed to have like it seemed strange to you that it was still in good quality. Like it was everything else was degraded, but this hadn't, which suggests to you that it maybe had some magical properties. Okay. Um look, did you guys have anything else that you was really pressing? Because I think that might be a good place to sort of like wrap it up for today.
Yeah,
Um,
can we distribute the gold?
I already done that.
Okay, I wanna. So I'm gonna go to the bar or I'm gonna go where Deckard is. He'd be at the bar, I think.
Yeah. You
S-
yep. Sorry. Go. Gonna come too? That's what I'm assuming you're saying. You guys can just move yourselves as well.
So
You can find Deckard in the bar. You see him with his usual cohort of mostly older drinking companions. He sort of hails you as you come in. Oh, hail, adventurers! Come, stay a while and listen.
I'd take a seat next to him.
You're trying to like you wait patiently for probably about 10-15 minutes while he finishes like story after story of like his exploits as a young adventurer.
My arms are crossed as I listen, waiting.
You can make an insight check if you want.
Okay, I'll do that.
He seems to be telling like absolute truth. He was a hero in his day. Um, so Sobek comes over. What did you buy? Like something strong, like more of an ale. Yep. So did you buy like spirits or? Oh, okay. So like just the usual, the koozie. Yeah. No worries. So that's like a small shot glass each, and you come back over. You got a koozie cup for Deckard. Oh, you adventurers! You'll be the death of me. I don't know if my liver can handle all of this. Nevertheless,
So
though, he picks it up and shots it. Cool.
I wanna ask him for an Arcana check, but I'm gonna describe how I'm gonna do it. It's
Mhm.
gonna be like me subtly egging him on to just tell me about what I have, but I'm gonna do it in like an Isaac way. So let me describe it.
Go for it.
I sit down, I kind of like wave my cloak in his face, and I'm like, "What do you think? I look like a rogue, don't I?" I kind of like flex my cloak on him.
he sort of chuckles at it. He's like, "Oh, I thought that was Vic for a moment. You adventurers, you are always playing fun games. I can't keep giving out freebies. My friends here tell me when I get slosh, you keep making the most of my services as an arcanist. I don't think I'll allow this to continue to happen."
Okay. If you can tell me about my cloak and this crossbow too. I'll pay your price.
They seem quite fine in quality. I would say perhaps 10 gold might be a fair price.
Very well. I fumble around, finally finding my gold pouch, and I slowly put down 10 gold, one piece at a time from bag to counter until there's 10 total, and then I recount the 10 once
No
it's
worries.
all laid out.
He picks up the crossbow first, and he goes, according to my arcane resources, and you can see, like, just for a moment, you see him, like, gesture with his hands, and you hear him whisper something under his breath, and he goes, "This appears to have the title The Forest Hawk, and I believe it should help you in the darker places, as well as being particularly useful when you are traversing forested terrain."
What's so special about it?
Well, for starters, it's quite a fine weapon. It'll do much more damage than a typical crossbow of its like and size. I feel you will find this quite useful. And then he looks at you, sees your double short, like your long swords, and your spear that are strapped to your back, and he goes, "Well, perhaps not you, but it could be quite useful." And he hands it over, and then he turns his attention to your cloak. He sort of like gets up and he sort of walks around and he goes, "Ah, I think I recognize these patches actually. This, I believe, is a robe of useful items. It has been known to conjure things when you need them the most." And he sort of goes, "May I?" And he gestures to one of your patches, like
Sure.
on one of the cloak, and you can see that it's got like a small symbol of like a dagger on the patch. And as he reaches forward, he's like, "Now, I apologize. You will not be able to use this again, but it will be very useful to you to know how to use it. Is that okay?" And so
Yeah,
he
give him
rips
a nod.
he rips the patch off and slaps it down on the table, and the patch like magically turns into a dagger.
Whoa. Isaac's eyes wide. How did you do that? You a sorcerer?
Well, I'm a man of mystery, as always. But no, this one I cannot take credit for. This is just simply the use of the robe of useful things. Any patch you have can be turned into whatever object it represents. You look around. I'll put in the patches so that you can know exactly what's in there. I'll roll on a table for you. Actually, we can do it. We can probably do that now if you want.
Yes. Thank you, Deckard. And then I'll pocket the dagger.
So there's a patch that represents a few healing potions. There's a patch that represents a wooden ladder. There's a patch that represents a bundle of gems.
Like what kind of gems?
They look to be like just valuable trinkets more than anything else. You see another wooden ladder. Another one, it seems to be essentially like a wooden door. Sorry, an iron
What?
door that is like able to. You're not sure, but it just appears to be like a picture of like a sturdy iron door. And last one. I'm gonna re-roll it because it's fucking another ladder.
Okay, yeah. No more. No more ladders, please.
Get 2 more. Okay, so another one. It just appears to be like a picture of like a dark hole. It's like a pit.
What?
And the last one, it appears to be a picture of a horse.
What? Can it be a white horse?
Sure. It's a white horse. It's got a couple of saddlebags on it.
Sick.
And you can see, if you go into the item description, you'll be able to see your list of patches that are still on there.
Okay.
And you can edit them as you use them. So essentially, as you want to use one, you just pull it off, you throw it on the ground, and it'll like manifest whatever the patch represents.
Did you update it already, or are you going to? You're about to.
Pretty sure I already have. If you look in your item, you see the robe of useful. Oh, sorry, I haven't identified it. That'll help. There you go.
Ah.
Should see it now. This is
There it is. I see it.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
See that yours is dark though.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And I pocketed the dagger. The dagger had spawned.
No worries. Yeah, that's cool. You can add.
Right.
I'll just chuck a dagger in there. Now, who else wanted my assistance?
I'll pull the doll out and put it on the table.
Okay. And I'm not going to be able to give you a proper item description just yet, but I can give you a bit of an idea. So he has a look and he goes, this one is very interesting. I will let you know what it does for, again, 10 gold. I know he had 2 items, but this is quite valuable.
I'll pay it.
But
I'll stare at him, kind of like
stare intently at him, and you see him whispering again under his breath and like moving his fingers.
By the way, did you take away 10 gold from me, or should I do it?
No, you do it.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Yeah. He goes, it appears to be a Dragonborn Trinket of some description. From what I can tell, it would be painful to use, but it should allow you to manifest quite devastating fire attacks in this form of spells. It will recharge at dawn, and it'll have the capacity for 1 large burst of fire, or about 3 cones of lesser intensity. I hope that is helpful. I'll send a note when I am able to decipher exactly what it entails and its limitations. It might take me a little while to delve into this one's past.
Yeah, and I will put it back in my pocket. And
Cool.
thank him, but still give him that look like, yeah, you fucked me.
Not happy about paying the experiment. Okay, so you see, did you have something as well, Sovik? That's fine. You guys are kind of like drinking for a while. Deku continues to tell some stories. Anyone can insight him if they want.
I'd rather just believe the stories out of sheer entertainment.
He tells you about so Rakuro is like just enthralled. He's hearing about how Deckard once arm wrestled a giant into submission, and then rode a giant donkey into battle against a herd of trolls. Isaac and Sobek.
No. I'll cancel mine. I'm on Rakuro.
Sobek can tell immediately that Deckard is just bullshitting. But it's still very entertaining to listen to. Isaac and Rakuro looking at Deckard with newfound respect, and just like enthralled by the tales he's telling. One time he also he claims to have grown a beanstalk and climbed it up into the clouds. All sorts of tall tales. After about half an hour, Deckard kind of trails off, and he's starting to like drift into his cups. It's getting pretty late in the day. What would you guys like to do?
How much is this crossbow worth?
Are you asking me or Deckard or?
Deckard.
Deckard says, depends who you're selling it to. I'd expect you to get about at least 100 gold, unless you were a terrible barterer.
Alright, thank you. Nah, I'm done. I don't have nothing else to do.
No worries.
Rakuro, do you have dark vision? I
Probably
don't know
not.
how to roleplay that. I don't know how to roleplay ask you that. I don't think Isaac even knows about dark vision.
I mean, he knows that certain creatures can see in the dark, but probably more like animals.
Rakuro, can you see in the dark?
Nope. Only if I have a torch.
How are you with crossbows?
Imagine it can't be much harder than a bow. Probably easier.
Alright. Noted.
Noted. All right, I'll say that Isaac and Rakuro kind of disappear, and they're chatting about being able to see in the dark and all sorts of other random stuff. Sobek is left alone with Deckard. Do you want me to take you in a separate chat? Yep. What I can do is I can quickly deafen them. Yeah, there you go. Everyone else is now deaf. I've undeafened everyone. Cool. So he takes the ring and he has a close look at it, and he goes, I don't seem to be able to break the veil on this one. I'll happily identify that carpet for you, though, if you want. I think I recognize that. That carpet attached to your pack. I know exactly what that is. And he goes, well, the key to these carpets is, you have to know the command phrase, as it were. Let's see. He goes, was there enough space? I'm sure it'll be fine. As the carpets sort of roll down the table, he just goes, he sort of like clears his throat and he goes, a whole new world. And the carpet like raises up in the air. And it sort of hovers there. Yeah, he gets the, like, it starts floating in the air. And everyone in the bar just, like, looks over at this carpet that's just started floating above the table and is like, everyone is super confused. And Deckard goes, oh, that's enough, and just, like, gestures it down, and it sort of, like, it goes inanimate again. No worries, he sort of says, yes, those are my favorite. If you get a second one, I'd be more than happy to take it off your hands.
I hope you know I fully expect you to break out into a whole new world whenever you use it.
Yeah, it's not gonna work unless the command phrase is used.
Also, as me and Isaac are fucking Isaac.
Yeah, let's say we're outside.
We're gonna go outside, and I'm gonna say, I don't know about a crossbow, but I'm gonna like point an arrow at this tree, and I'm gonna take an attack roll at this tree right there.
It's you barely hit the tree. I know you hit it. You hit it pretty comfortably, but not like in any with any precision or anything like super impressive.
But then I'm gonna notch another arrow, and I'm gonna try to split that one.
No worries. You do manage it. Like it's a little touch and go, but you let loose, and the arrow that you fired first gets split in two by the second arrow.
Very impressive, Rakuro.
I'm not sure about a crossbow, but I'm pretty good at this.
All right. We do have another archer in the Adventurers Guild. Maybe we'll see who has. Maybe we'll see who has the sharper aim between you and. I'm not sure if you two have met, but there's a halfling named
The
Norin.
child.
Uh, no, he's actually older than us, actually. So
He looks like a child.
we can hold a shooting competition, and we'll see who the crossbow will be more useful for in battle.